You're listening to Sports Talk with John and John. You can email us at sportstalkwithjohnandjohn@gmail.com. You can comment and like and subscribe to us at Sports Talk with John and John at youtube.com. And you can call and leave a message. We don't have a secretary. Can't afford one this year. But you can leave a comment or question about the show, and we'll put your comment and your question on the air at 504-424-2509. That's 504-424-2509. Shark, I've got a question for you as we go into our next segment. And we're going to come back to you with this, John, but this is our last segment on coaching and firing. The unthinkable is potentially and could happen. And the unthinkable in my world is, me racing Usain Bolt and beating him. That's unthinkable. But I liken the idea of the unthinkable to Mike T, Pittsburgh. Job on the line, yes, no, or just because they're 5-4 and one of the weakest divisions ever, that his job is on he's on safety's sake for that job. The way they're playing in Pittsburgh right now, it's not looking good for Mike T. What do you think? Could Mike T be fired?
No, I think the team will get blown up before he gets fired. Yeah, Mike T is longevity. Probably one of the longest tenure coaches in the league.
He is.
Yeah, consistent.
The longest tenure coach.
Never missed the playoffs. I mean, his resume speaks for itself. So if Pittsburgh fired Mike Tomlin, that would be a blessing in disguise for Mike Tomlin. He'd go find another home. He'd fit in immediately. He could change an organization. He can coach the hell out of a player. And I think he can maximize talent on any end or any side of the ball. So I think if they lose, it's okay. It always feels like with Mike T these past couple of years, they're just like, here, man, see what you can do with this. It's like all the pieces aren't on the puzzle, but make it work, and he does the best he can.
But that Aaron Rodgers,
he squeezes the juice out of all of his fruit.
That Aaron Rodgers situation is Mike T's footprint all over. He wanted that guy.
No. He wanted that guy. He wanted that guy when they weren't going to give a contract to the other guys. So he said if there was a pool of mid players, they was like, pick whoever you think can give you the best chance. And fortunately, in that small pool, it was Aaron Rodgers. It was Aaron Rodgers, And he's 41 years old, coming off of 3 bad seasons. 5 bad seasons, if you really think about it.
Did we watch that game last night? Did we watch that? Did we watch the Chargers game, or was I the only one that was watching that game?
No, I watched the Chargers game. Yeah, he was terrible.
Did we see Aaron Rodgers? It was not good.
It was terrible. I can't even put it all on him, but it wasn't good.
Like Mike T is not getting fired, number one.
And I took the Chargers.
You did.
Give me the Fez. Hey.
No, we'll get to our picks. You're going to get the Fez. You're going to get the Fez. Oh, you definitely going to get the
Fez.
First time winner.
You're going to get the Fez. Oh, yeah, you're going to get the Fez.
First time winners.
When we read your picks, you're going to get the Fez for sure.
I remember when I went the first time. Mike T's not going to get fired. And Mike T's not going to get fired. And you know what?
You really think about it. Talking like the inevitable, these things can't happen.
The thing is, I mean, so Pittsburgh has had 2 coaches in 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Cowher, Mike T. You know what I'm saying? That franchise isn't built on knee-jerk reactions. You know what I'm saying? They're just not. They're resolute. They're committed to an actual process. I agree with my brother. You know what? Mike T's always been given pieces and had to kind of morph pieces, and he's always got more out of those pieces than anybody else can get out of those pieces, right? I'm being clear. I mean, you look at the team right now. You have to understand, Pittsburgh has no wide receivers outside of DK Metcalf. Nope. DK Metcalf is the only wide receiving talent that they have.
That's it.
Outside of him, if you want to call Austin the number 2,
no.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin's not a number 2.
Yeah, they have no supporting cast. They have a limited running game. You know what I'm saying? And for all intents and purposes, this should be a 3-win team right now. Realistically speaking, they should be under 500. But the Mike T effect is real simple. Like, you know what? Mike T has built a team that basically weathers storms. They play well under duress. You know what? They're in a weak division. They are, which means that, you know, there's a possibility they can still win the division. And I don't think that they ultimately Pittsburgh fires Mike T after winning the division with this team, because if there's a team that's overachieving right now, that this team is overachieving in my book. This is overachieving team.
I said 10-7 in the beginning of the year when we were giving it. I'm like, they're 10-7.
They may just go 10, and this is not a really good looking 10 win team, but they find ways to win the game. And let's be clear, like, if they would have had a wide receiver again, because they went for it on fourth down like twice, they were in the red zone a couple times when they just got stopped. You know what? If they would have had like a secondary help outside of just DK Metcalf and maybe some more weapons, I think they would have beat the Chargers. But they're so limited, Pop. They just really are. They're limited. They're limited. Like, I'll tell you what. There's no other head coach that's playing right now that could take this team and do better than what Mike T is doing with the team.
What did Mike T said last year after the ugly win? The sports announcer asked him, was like, hey, so, you know, basically, like, it didn't look too good out there, but you guys always find a way to win. And he's like, you know, what do you have to say about that? What's the recipe? He said, I can tell you the ingredients to a hot dog, but you might not like it. That's exactly how that football team is.
Wait,
it's like,
Mike,
the hot dog is good until I tell you the ingredients.
Let me ask you a question.
That loss to the Bengals, you guys, that hurt.
Pop, let me ask you a question.
That hurt.
Let me ask you a question, Pop. If Pittsburgh fired Mike T, how many other teams in the NFL would openly, you know what, would give Mike T the bag?
First thing, the Texans, D'Amico Ryan, get out of here. Mike T, you're in.
Matter of fact, how many coaches that aren't on the hot seat would get fired?
I'll say this in terms of that. I don't have an NFL franchise, and I would hire Mike T.
Yeah,
and I don't have any money, and I don't have a franchise.
Yeah,
and I would call him. I would take the American Express card, overbook it, get first class accommodations, fly him in for an interview, and we don't have a team just to say I interviewed Mike T.
Teams that have coaches, teams that already have coaches who aren't on the hot seat would be fired. If Mike T became available easily,
like anybody not named Harbaugh, anybody.
Hey, so are you saying Mike T is auditioning for the Giants right now?
Auditioning? He has to audition?
He wouldn't audition.
Well, I'm just saying right now. Could you say that Mike T could potentially, if Pittsburgh were to cough, snibble, dip, dive, pass some innuendos, and Mike doesn't like some of the stuff he's hearing? And do you think the Giants would raise a hand and give Mike T the opportunity to come to New York?
They wouldn't. No? It wouldn't be an opportunity. It would. Their contract would already be designed. They would be already drawn up. Like let me tell you something. There is no team out. Like maybe Kansas City probably wouldn't part ways with Andy Reid.
No.
You know what?
Okay. I agree with that. No way.
You know, I don't think Harbaugh parts ways with Lamar in Baltimore.
I don't think the Rams don't part.
I think the Rams don't part ways.
Not Sean
right?
McVay.
No, I mean, but the list is going to start really dwindling down.
Philadelphia, I think Sirianni.
See, that's where I disagree. See, I actually disagree with that. I think that if Mike T
Sirianni's gone.
You said that Mike
Sirianni's gone.
What?
Sirianni's gone.
What?
No,
Sirianni's gone.
No way.
No,
you're saying that if Mike T leaves Pittsburgh, Mike T's just like, you know what?
Yes,
I need to get out of this part of Pennsylvania. I want to find a new home in Pennsylvania.
Yes,
that Philadelphia and Howie Roseman would go, hey, Mike, do you need a ride?
Yeah. Listen.
Are you really serious?
You don't even have to move. You're just going from Pittsburgh to Philly. You don't even have to move.
It's not a knock on Sirianni. This is not.
It's somebody better.
This is just better. Mike T is Mike T. I think Mike T is a better head coach.
That's it.
And I think honestly, Jeffrey Lurie and I think you know what, Howie Roseman would say, "Hey Nick, we love you, you know, but it's Mike T."
That's it. It's Mike T.
Do you have any idea what Sirianni's record is? Like one of the best records in NFL coaching over the last years, how good his record
So
has been.
he has one of the best teams.
His winning percentage is damn near over 85%. His winning percentage.
So, but that's what I asked.
That's incredible.
Okay, so if I took Sirianni and I put Sirianni on Pittsburgh right now, is Pittsburgh going to win 10 games?
No, they'd be atrocious. They'd be lucky if they won 5.
Like if I took Mike T and I gave Mike T that team,
Super Bowl. Yo, Super Bowl.
So what I'm saying is,
Bob, Super Bowl or bust.
No, I don't think that's correct. I
mean,
Sirianni.
I think he's a great coach, but I think Mike T's better.
I think he's very safe. No, I think he's very safe in Pennsylvania. I don't think Philly's going to be moving away from Sirianni anytime soon.
No, not at all.
I think that we can mic this up. We can put a mic on Jeffrey Lurie. We could put a mic on Howie Rosen. They're not going to move from Sirianni anytime soon, and he needs to do something dastardly. I mean, like just a bold face. Like, why did you do that? You know, like why would you run into the tent? Concussion protocol. Why would you
disagree?
do that?
The only reason why I disagree, Pop, is because when they had their late season collapse, not last season, but the season before that, right before the season before they got Saquon, when they basically like lost like 6 straight down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? Like there was talk about,
but we know why they lost that. We know why they were losing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that there was talk
and
of
no running game.
Well, there was still talk of whether or not Sirianni was the head coach. So that tells me that, you know what, that they would have, if Mike T would have been available at that point in time, Nick Sirianni would have been basically excommunicado, in my opinion. But Nick Sirianni since then has won the Super Bowl, and I can't take that away from him, and you shouldn't because he's a good coach. But I'll tell you what, if he goes through a collapse like he did ever again,
he's lost the locker room before multiple times.
Yeah,
because he's the only coach with a winning record the last 3 seasons and a Super Bowl, who each season out of the last 3 seasons, there's been rumors about him being in the hot seat.
But that's only the pressure of consistent winning, though.
I think it's because he was never. He's
even
never
fully gameplay.
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think Mike T is just a better coach. And if you're Howie Roseman and Mike T becomes available, you know he's definitely well experienced. You know he can control the locker room. And he's a damn good. Like that's huge, especially in Philly. Like with these young guys, how many? Do you think he would lose AJ Brown like Nick Sirianni has the last? You think he'd be reading a book on the sideline?
No.
Mike
T, I'll tell you right now. Like you want to know?
No, I think I from the respect factor in terms of players, I'm not even going to debate that. I'm not going to debate the respect factor of your players as it relates to Mike T, Nick Sirianni. And this is not a knock on Nick Sirianni. I think his players respect him. I think they give a total effort as a team. And I don't want to say the ship is loose. The only time I'll say, the only thing I can really say is that it doesn't always look tight.
No,
except you're winning.
It doesn't.
And something that Jonathan always says: winning trumps everything. So as long as you're winning, you can have all the dysfunction in the world, but you're winning. And I think the Eagles are winning. And as you win, you can do that. But the word comes out like, "Hey, we're winning," and I think with Sirianni, there's this undercurrent that even though we're achieving, or even in some cases overachieving, there's still this undercurrent of something going on that we just can't put our fingers on it. But you know, it's kind of smoldering there. And I think with a Mike T, that smoldering is dissipated. There's no smoldering. That's that, and this is this. And everything goes through Mike T, and that's it. And everybody else, that's it. You play, he coaches.
As long as they win.
I think there's only a few coaches. Yeah, and I don't think there's a few coaches in the league that can. Andy Reid, you play, he coaches. Sean McVay, you play, he coaches. Harbaugh, you play, he coaches. And I think those guys are on a very short list. And I think Mike
Sean
T
Payton.
And Andy Reid, Sean Payton too. Yeah, Sean Payton too. You
play.
Especially
I coach.
You play.
We don't play that.
Right. You don't tell me. You just play, I coach. And I think there's a short list of coaches that fit that. And I think Mike T and Andy Reid are 1 and 2 on that short list. Fired. I introduced it just as a talking point. I also don't feel that there's some traction or a possibility to that. But I think it needs to be said when you're watching what Pittsburgh is putting on the field. And inconsistency, quarterback play is not there. They're out of sync. The running game is okay, then really not good at all. I think if you think DK Metcalf is going to run that 9 route consistently and beat everyone, that's not going to work.
So let me ask you a question, Pop. Like, do you think, here's a simple question, right? Do you think that their record is more indicative of personnel or coaching?
Personnel.
Okay. So the difference is that, like, you can say that the coach that was just fired from the New York Giants, you can say that was a direct result of coaching. You know what I'm saying? You can make that argument. You can say that was coaching, right? You can say with Cleveland that this is a direct result. Like, your record is what your record is because of coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Absolutely. I think Mike T, and unfortunately, Mike T is a product of his own. He's a victim of his own success and his own coaching ability. Because when you demonstrate that you can do more with less, people typically just continue to give you less.
That's very true. That's very true.
So,
and I think that's very apropos. I think Mike is a victim of exactly what you said. They don't give him very much to work with. And since he had Antonio Brown and the other kid sent with
Pickens,
with Ben and that defense, and the running game, that was the last iteration we saw of a team that had the players and the perfect coach. And right now, we've been seeing a great coach and a team that he has to constantly motivate. And I only introduced the idea of Mike T being fired simply because could he be growing tired of this?
I don't know. He hasn't demonstrated. I think he's one of the few people I don't think you have to guess what they're thinking. I think he's earned the right to basically say, and I think if he was tired of coaching and he didn't want to do this anymore, I think that he would clearly come out and say, you know what, like I'm tired of this shit. I'm not going to do it anymore. I think. I mean, look at his press conferences. Like Mike T doesn't leave cliffhangers. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike T isn't a stay tuned for its next kind of guy. Like when he talks,
right?
He's telling you specifically like what, like there is no filter or no blockage between the brain and the voice box. Like if he thinks it's coming out and he's saying it and he's standing on it. So, and I can respect that. But I mean, it's a good talking point. But like I said, Pop, you know what? That guy, I think there's somebody that is not bulletproof but close to it. Because anybody can get it, but I think that Pittsburgh realizes that they have their guy, and I think that all season they just need to make a commitment to which direction that they want to go in, stand fast in that direction, and basically give him the pieces and the dogs to, you know what, to fight the battles. That's what they need.
Pittsburgh reminds me of like a mom and pop franchise, you know?
Yeah,
mom and pop.